Yep. I'm been dodging lightning bolts here about an hour ago, but I think we're good to go for a little while, so we should be able to get through the next 30 minutes without any problems. This is N4OZI. My name is Alan, located in Woodstock, Georgia. This is the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship pre-net, the informal portion of the net before the main net at the top of the hour. And let me see, I've got a list so far of people I've heard on here, so if you've been on here, you don't need to check in again, but so far, this is the list that I have. We'll start out with number 1, K3JWI Ken is the first one I heard, then you, Dr. John, KN4ME, and then Sam, KF4TXQ, and then Charlie, good to hear you in there, Charlie, K4FNY, and then Dr. Ron, WB4GWA, and then Eddie, KA4AMI, and then, of course, Mac, W4AX is in there. So that's what I have so far. We'll go ahead and take a standby right now and see if we have any additional check-ins. Any additional check-ins for the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet? Call now.
K4, BKC.
All right, I got you in for BKC. And let's see, that would be Greg, WA4III. Got you in there. All right, let's go ahead and start this thing off. This is N4OZI. I'll go up to the top of the list and see if Ken is back. I think he stepped away for a minute, but he may or may not be there. But K3JWI, how about some comments for the prenet? This is N4OZI. I think he stepped away. That's okay. We'll keep him up there. Go ahead, Dr. John. We'll send it over to you for some comments. KN4ME in the prenet. This is N4OZI.
Okay, Alan. I need to bow out, too, and come back in for the actual net. But you have an excellent signal, great audio, and welcome Greg and Bob to the group. Back to you, Alan. N4OZI, KN4, Mike Echo.
Okay, Dr. John. KN4, Mike Echo is N4OZI. Your signals come up tremendously in the past 30 minutes. So about 30 minutes ago, I could just barely pick you up, which was kind of surprising. And I didn't have a very good copy on Bob, K4BKC. So the band is a little bit strange tonight, but we'll get through it. At least the trend is in the right direction. All right, we'll continue to go down to number 3 on the list is Sam. Sam, how about some comments for the prenet? KF4TXQ is N4OZI.
Okay, Alan, N4OZI in the prenet. This is Kilo Fox 4. Some of those static crash business. But you know how it is. Be loud. All it's got to do is just have a good pass through the ether. You know, it always, I guess, depends on how far you are and what it's tuned to and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we're going to rock along. You got a good signal, Alan. Everybody. But we got plenty of static sounds in the neighborhood. Everything's good in Woodstock. This is KN4TXQ.
Okay, Sam. Turn this speaker off here. I thought I heard a hum in there. N4OZI. Yeah, everything's good. Like I said, we had a little bit of a close lightning hits here earlier, but I think we'll be fine. But static crashes are still coming through. And, yeah, things are going pretty good here. Making progress on some stuff around here in the ham shack. I got to get a receiver packed up here later on this evening, so I'll be working on that. And I got to ship it out here tomorrow. But That's about it. Got a 32V3 sitting on the workbench, and that's working out real well. Well, at least I got it on the workbench. That's as far as it's gotten. Been too busy to do much else, but hey, at least it's there. 105 pounds is now moved over to the workbench, and I consider that a victory. Over to you, Charlie, if you're still there. Good to hear you in there this evening. K4FNY. How about some comments for the prenet? It's N40ZI.
Okay, N40ZI, K4FNY. Well, I tell you what, that's a major accomplishment getting that transmitter up on the workbench. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to try that now. I don't have a lift table, so I'd be sunk. Fortunately, the 610 is not giving me any trouble, so it's hanging in there. It's actually fairly easy to work on the thing, but except for the power supply. Anyway, got a little bit of static popping and cracking in there. I turned the RF gain back, and that helped a little bit with the static noise, and I didn't affect the signals very much. So that maybe we'll be able to get through the net tonight without too much interference from it. Yeah, it's far off for me too, Sam. We hadn't had any rain here in a day or two. But, well, it's been a couple of days. We had a thunderstorm in the middle of the night, but right now it's been a real pretty day here. It's been in the low 80s, and it's pretty clear, and that's just a nice spring day. So, Alan, back up to you, N40ZI, in the net, K4FNY.
Okay, Charlie. K4FNY is N40ZI. Well, you got a booming signal over here this evening. Always do. Morning or evening, you're just always booming in, sounding real good. And, yeah, the 32V3 is 105 pounds according to the Collins specification. had to make a wood cart on wheels to put it on, and it's exactly the same height as the workbench, so you can move it from one to the other and move it around, and boy, that sure has saved my back. I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier, so it's a whole lot easier to deal with. All right, before we go to Dr. Ron, let's take another standby and see if we have any other check-ins. Any other check-ins for the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet? Call now.
W4OB.
Okay, got you in there, Ray. Any other check-ins? No, I guess not. We'll go on down the list over here to Dr. Ron. How about some comments? Sounding good on Millie tonight there, Dr. Ron. WB4GWA. This is N40ZI.
Okay, Alan, N40ZI from WB4GWA. Well, thank you so much for calling the prenet tonight. You're sounding good in here, and I know what you mean about that 32V. I had to restore a 32V2, and boy, was that painful. That rascal took me a long time to rebuild, but got it up and working, got it rebuilt and all. But good evening to everybody that's checked in so far. I got distracted a while ago with a bit of a telephone call, but everybody's sounding real good, and I hope we're going to have a good net tonight. So back to you, Alan, N40ZI from WB4GWA in Concord.
Okay, Dr. Ron. WB4GWA. Sounding all back. It's N40ZI. Got a real good copy on you in the staticky summer nights, and they're going to definitely be increasing after warmer weather. But hey, that's just part of it. We'll get by. All right, we'll put back a little bit down to Eddie. No comment at K04AMI. This is N40ZI.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Good job there. You picked it up right on time. That was a great handoff from Dr. Ron to you there. We're just fooling around listening. The signals are picking up, sounding better, but there's an awful lot of noise. Most of it's the lightning and the heavy stuff is south of me, and it looks like it's running from down south of Auburn, Alabama, down around Sam's house, up toward Columbus, so it's moving southeast, so maybe it'll move away from us. It may give us fits with the Gulf Coast guys tonight. But other than that, everybody sounds really good. And thanks for being there, Alan. And I won't hold it because we got guys trying to get in here, and we only got 20 minutes. So back to you, and good to hear you. N4OZI, this is KA4AMI.
Okay, Eddie. KA4AMI in the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet. This is N4OZI. Well, what about like I said, the static crashes are pretty tough, so it's going to be interesting to see if we can pick up some of these Gulf Coast guys. That's going to be a bit of a challenge, but that's all we can do. All right, let's take a standby before we head north from that. Let's take another standby, see if we can pick up some more check-ins. Any other check-ins for the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet? Call now. No check-ins off of yet, so let's head north to Mac. W4AX, how about your comments for the Prenet? This is N4OZI.
All right, thank you, Alan. N4OZI, W4AX, and hello to my neighbor. And thanks for running the Prenet, Alan. You know, I'm only 30 minutes away. I'm always pleased, Alan, if you need me to run down and help you lift something like that. There's no point in, pulling your back out or something. I mean, that it'd only be, a little over 50 pounds for both of us to lift. So I'm still good for about 100, but I can certainly lift 50 with you. And so don't hurt yourself next time. Just give a call and I'll run down. Being retired, I can come down most any time. If I could offer a piece of advice on the 32V3, I have one, and I had to replace the high voltage transformer in it with a Peter Dahl, $950 by the way, because the high voltage filament winding shorts in that old 32V3. It's a real common problem. So if I could make a recommendation to disconnect the filament winding on the high voltage transformer and solid state it, I think you can save yourself a lot of money and pain, because it's a lot of work to rewire that high voltage transformer. I speak from experience. I'm on the BC375 listing on a BC348, and I have a BC453 Q5er hooked up to it. 100% vacuum tubes here. I'll have some more comments during the net. Back up to you, Alan. N4OZI, W4AX, Ball Ground.
Okay, Mac. Well, before I out on the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenets, N4OZI. Well, fortunately, I didn't have to lift 32V. I just had to guide it down because it was sitting up on a shelf. I measured it's a 35-inch shelf. Of course, that shelf is made out of super strut steel beams, so even my 32V3 is not going to stress it. Well, I have to move it out, so the cross is 37 inches high. So I just had to guide it down, which turned out to be good, and I actually successfully did it without smashing my fingers, which I thought was a minor miracle. So once I had it on there, I was good to go. Then I could just push it around, and I designed it to be, like I said, the exact same like this workbench. So you just slide it out of the cabinet right under the workbench, and it just perfect those half. And it's also fairly close to some of the shelving units down here, and you've seen them. So it's fairly close to the same shelving unit, so you can just put it on the shelf. So it makes moving this heavy equipment a whole lot easier. So it worked out real well. But I appreciate it. And if I need help, I'll give you a call. But fortunately, it was just going from 45 down to 37, and I was able to slide it down there without too much problem. Let's see if we got a better signal on Bob. K4, BKC. Bob, how about your comments for the Prenet? This is N4OZI.
Well, N4OZI and Prenet, this is K4, BKC. Bob in Columbia. Good evening to everyone on the Prenet. I have to agree with some of the folks talking about the static. I've got a lot of static up here and some QSB also. So hopefully the band will straighten out for us a little later. We had a strong thunderstorm come through in the middle of the night. I think Carlin was mentioning that. But on a good day today. Kind of warm and humid, but no more thunderstorms, so that's good. I was on the ART-13 earlier and having a good time operating that. I just thought I'd switch over for the net to the 20V, so I'm on the 20V now. But you've got a good list going here, Alan, and I'll turn it back to you. N4OZI, K4BKC.
Okay, Bob. K4BKC and the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet, N4OZI. Well, your signal came up tremendously. You're doing a lot better, and you'll just get stronger as we get closer to the evening. All right, let's take another standby and see if we have any other check-ins for the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet. Any other check-ins? Come now.
At W4MA.
All right, got you in there, Bill, W4MA. Any other check-ins? We may have a light list tonight with all the static crashes and the thunderstorms. It'd be kind of a not too many check-ins. Not the best of ideal conditions, but the ones I do have, I have a pretty good copy. So let's see if we can pick up Greg and get his comments. WA4III. How about your comments for the prenet? This is N4OZI.
Been a nice day outside, a little warm, but not getting hotter. I guess that's good. We got to have a change in season. Crops will grow, flowers will be growing, winter bloom, and all that. Nature, the master that controls nature, he knows what he's doing. But it would be nice if it was a little warmer in the summer, and a little cooler in the summer, and a little bit warmer in the winter time. But I'm not. I bought me made by MFG. It's called a cobweb antenna. And I got it put together and canned out, but I hadn't got it on the tower yet. But I don't know how it's going to work out, but that remains to be seen, I guess. So that's about all I got. I'm getting spam calls left and right on my telephone, so that's live too, anyway. But that's about all I got to say, I guess. N4OZI, this is WA4II.
Okay, Greg. WA4II. This is N4OZI and the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet. Yeah, I agree. You got to have those changes of season if you want the crops to grow, and you're going to need that heat and humidity and rain if you want to have that benefit of summer, and that would be sweet corn. Oh, I love sweet corn, but you're not going to get it unless it gets nice and warm. But I've noticed that some sweet corn obviously coming out of Florida has been showing up here, and that sure has been nice. I like that. All right, let's go on over to my neighbor Ray, W4OB. How about some comments for the prenet? This is N4OZI.
N4OZI, this is W4OB. Well, a very good evening to you, Alan, and good going on that wood cart on wheels to manhandle your 32V3. But you know, the nice thing about Collins, they built in the smoothest handles of all, you know, and so I can actually lift my 32V1 and move it where I need to move it because of those nice handles. But a very good evening to everyone on the net this evening. Of course, I'm going to say hello to you, Bill, and Ella J. I think you might be next. Greg, Bob, Mac, Mr. Ron, Charlie, Sam. They're all good signals, especially the close-in signals are excellent right now. The farther away ones are a little bit of a challenge. Greg, I picked you up with no problem on the Mohawk, so a very good evening. And Mac, you know, you mentioned solid stating, the 32V3. You know, on the Apache that I'm on right now, I absolutely lost the high voltage filament on it. Now, fortunately, it didn't take out any transformer, but I did solid state my Apache, and what it made a big difference, because it was that high voltage filament is suspect for sure. Okay, we'll keep it going, Alan. Let me send it back to you. We've got a good list going under somewhat adverse conditions. N4OZI, this is W4OB.
Okay, Ray. W4OB in the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet, N4OZI. Well, this is one of the strongest signals tonight I've ever heard from you. I don't know what it is, but usually in the morning it's not quite as good, but in the evenings at this time, you just boom in, and I haven't quite figured out why, but that's really strange. But strong signal coming in tonight. All right, before we head over to Bill, let's take another standby and see if we have any other check-ins. Any other check-ins for the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet? Call now. All right, it's going to be kind of light tonight, so up to you, Bill, W4MA. How about some comments for the Prenet? It's N4OZI.
N4OZI from W4MA. Good evening, Alan. I hope you're doing well. You sounded very well. I heard something about a 32V3. I take it that may be what you're using as your transmitter this evening. If so, it sounded very well. Copying you fine. A couple of light copies on the other stations that I've heard. Just got in the shack from dinner, so haven't heard much, but I hear a lot of snap, crackling, pop, and hissing from this OSX 100. But copying you well, and I hope I'm getting through. I'm on the Ranger and the Curry amp. That's pretty much my go-to these days. Slimmed it down, and that's pretty much it. Beautiful day. Weather's changing, season's changing, cumulus clouds building, so that means a little more static and thunder bumpers coming eventually. Hope you're doing well down there in Woodstock. Hope you copied me okay. Thank you for doing the Prenet, Alan. N4OZI, W4MA.
Okay, Bill. W4MA on the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet. It's N4OZI. No, I'm not on the 32V. I'm on the Flex tonight, as I usually am. I usually like to run it because of the display. I can see what's going on, and if somebody's in there, and if they're pretty weak, at least I can see if their carrier's there, and that helps me a lot. Plus, I have the 7300 as a backup, and it's all tuned up along with the Blue American if I need to engage it, which I had to do one time. One time the parametric receive system lost power, and it was calling it up, and the help warning was coming in. Switch over to the 7300. That happens sometimes, but found out why that was occurring and got that corrected. Okay, Bill, and let's take another time. I'll see if we have any other check-ins. For the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet. Call now. I think we might have to go back up to the top of the list here and pick up Ken. Ken has come back in. K3JWI for N4OZI. Okay, he may be gone, so we'll continue on down the top of the list a little bit until we get to the top of the hour, but we'll make another standby here in a little bit to see if we have any other check-ins. How about some more comments for the pre-net? KN4ME. This is N4OZI.
Okay, Alan, in solid copy, there is some QSB and some static solid copy here. Great audio from the Flex rig. And I'm back in the shack, been inside doing some work there, and I had constructed some shelves here in the past 48 hours that really opens up my shack and gives me a lot more storage and work area. So very pleased with that. It's always fun to have something work out for the better. And not much else going on here. Copied Greg 15 miles away here, WA4II, and anxious to see what that cobweb does when he gets it up to tower height. And I'm also wondering if he's going to have to retune it. I would think maybe tune it up a little bit. But seriously, would consider getting one myself if it works well. Such an easy way to just monitor 10 through 40 if you want to add the 40 meter wire to it. Great job, and we'll stand by for the net. N4OZI, KN4ME.
Okay, Dr. John, KN4ME and the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet N4OZI. And yeah, that's the interesting one with his antenna, the cobweb antenna. I was kind of wondering about that. I hadn't heard that term in a long time, so that will be interesting. And still got a strong signal coming in. All right, before we head over to Sam, get some comments from him. Let's take another check-ins for the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Prenet. Call now.
W4GUZ.
Okay, W4GUZ. We got you in there, Brandon. Any other check-ins? All right. So let's pick up Brandon real quick and see if we can get some comments from him. Since we're down at the bottom of the list, Brandon, any comments for the pre-net? This one for OZI.
Okay, Alan. I hope you can hear me over the static. It's getting worse up here. I haven't even looked at the radar, but been an absolutely gorgeous day here in western North Carolina, about 3,400 feet, and
I think we lost you there, Brandon. You might have had some mic problems. We'll give him one more try and then we'll take another standby. W4GUZ, N4OZI.
Can we try that again?
Yeah, give it a try.
Okay, I think everything looks right. I clicked on the flex here and took away the grid drive, and things went a little haywire here. I'm on the 20V2 tonight. I spent most of the day outside doing yard work after the thunderstorms came through this morning, and then played in the honeybee yard the rest of the afternoon. Getting things in order, ready for the big nectar flow here. It made it up to, I'd say, around 69 or 70. Was very comfortable with the tank top and shorts on for most of the day. So you're starting to get up here as always, and I'm not sure where the storms are at, but they're getting a little bit closer, it sounds like. Not a cloud in the sky here in Hawk. Thank you for what you do, Alan. I'll try my best to stick around for the night. N4OZI, W4GUZ.
Okay, Brandon.
W4GUZ, 1040ZI in the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Team. And, yeah, you're feeling just fine. And solid copy on you. And, shouldn't have any problems. 3,500 feet. That's pretty good. I got up to like 83, 84 here, so you're a little bit loud. All right, with that, let's turn it over to Stan and let him pick it up. W4KI, the Central. This is N4OZI.
All right, Mr. Allen, good evening to you. N4OZI. This is W4KR, Walhalla, South Carolina. My name is Stan. Anybody doesn't know that? I think we interesting looking at the list tonight. I think everybody in here is a club member, and we know a whole bunch about what goes on with the club. The only thing I'll say is that don't forget the website. Keep looking at the website, because Dr. Ron's always got something new cooking in there. As the net begins, we'll begin using the club call, which is W4AMI, and with that, I'm going to dispense with the rest of the preamble, which is many paragraphs long that I'm sitting here staring at, and I'm listening to the static and looking at the length of the pre-net and saying, no, ain't going to do it tonight. So first thing we're going to do is take a standby to see if there's anyone else that would like to join. And Alan, I'm going to ask you to kind of ride herd. I was not copying the lads out in the western reaches too well. Bob, in fact, BKC was barely copyable here. Band is short, and I think with all the static, maybe that's not the worst place in the world for it to be tonight. So if you do that, Alan, I appreciate it. And with that, we'll take a standby to see if there's anyone else that would like to join the net as we begin tonight. This is W4AMI. Go ahead.
K3JWI back in the saddle.
W4OLJ.
Okay, there were two. The second one was you, Virgil, W4OLJ, and who was the one that talked about the saddle? I missed your call.
K3JWI. I was talking to everybody earlier and then had to leave.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. You're right up close to the top, Ken. Okay, anybody else? Okay, not so. Didn't hear anybody else. So with that, Virgil, good evening to you. Virgil, you're number 15, and I expect that's going to be probably about it that we have tonight. I'm going to start out with our club president, K4BKC, who has a few announcements to make, as he does most every Tuesday night. Go ahead, Bob. K4BKC. This is W4AMI.
Well, W4AMI and the net, this is K4BKC, and good evening, Stan, and thank you for running the net. It's good evening, and thanks, Alan, for the pre-net. It's static, poor band condition night, but I am able to copy this anyway. Ask that everyone keep the members in our group in your thoughts and prayers that are ill. W4CT Ben, Perry's son Will, K4CWW, and WA4I is recovering from knee surgery. We'd like to keep her in our thoughts always. I would agree with Stan that to take a look at the website if you hadn't lately. It's doing a fine job. If you need any listings or anything to add to the website, let us know. Been a good day here in Columbia, cleaning up after the storm last night, but other than that, everything's going well. Stan, I'm going to turn it back to you, and if I've missed anything, let me know. W4AMI to take it. This is K4BKC.
No, I think you hit it, Bob. I think you hit it all, and your signal is coming up a little bit. K4BKC, this is W4AMI, the Southeastern AM Radio Club, swapping Fellowship Net for Tuesday evening on the 9th of May. By the way, the temperature here in Walhalla this afternoon was 85. I just looked at it, and it hasn't gone down any. Peaked out about 85 about 4 o'clock and just stayed there. Humidity is low, but it was a beautiful day here also. Tonight, guys, I'm running the Apache Labs transceiver and the ACOM 2000 amplifier. I would like to use the old NC303, but this transceiver, the receive section of this thing has a few more bells and whistles. The noise reduction system makes everybody sound like they're FM, so I can see the static. I see the static on the pan adapter, but don't quite hear it all. Okay, next on the list is Treasurer K4AMI. Eddie, how are you tonight? W4AMI, go ahead.
Well, that's W4AMI. This is KO4AMI. Well, hello, Stan, and thank you for doing our net tonight. And Alan, great job on the pre-net. Like I always say, anybody can do it under ideal conditions, and you fellows have been dealing with some bad stuff tonight. But good evening to everybody else. And hello, Bill, W4MA. I had a chat with him the other night. And Ray, OB, your Apache has blown the clouds away down here. The sun is out. So that's how strong your signal was tonight. It's been stormy all afternoon here, but not much rain. It's just a bunch of noise and got a little bit of lightning, but it passed through. And as I said, Ray's signal has got the sun out down here now. So if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. Okay. See, the band conditions haven't been that favorable, but I'm hearing just about everyone. There's a couple of loud signals on well, but all in all, everybody sounds good. Anyway, let's see. I was going to comment on the prayers for Ben and Terry and his son, but I just we'll feel told by all our group here in Wilmington, so we'll definitely everyone is in our thoughts and prayers there. We have projects here, well, there are 2 numbers to count, but I have been working on the gauge somewhat, which has been on. So I give her a little TLC, and I hope she's holding up. So all indications here in the shot seem to point in that direction, but you never know. These old 10-plant road walls and that I operate, they're subject to failure at any time. So that's about it from here. Please be safe and healthy, my friends. 73 for now. This is W4AMI. This is KA4AMI. Great job, Stan.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. Thank you. Appreciate hearing that. This W4AMI. Next station up is our trustee and webmaster supreme, Dr. Ron. Come on in here and what's up? WB4GWA, or as when my cell phone announces that you're calling, it's WB4GWA. WB4GWA, W4AMI.
Okay, very good. Let me do something here. Make sure. There we go.
Oh, get Millie a little bit fine-tuned there. But anyway, W4AMI from WB4GWA. Stan, you might listen to the audio. I did a little tweaking on it, and hopefully
It's put in a little bit more lows for you. But anyway, good evening to everybody. And we've been just fooling around with projects around here, and one thing and the other. One thing I did this week is I got my Whopping microphone back. I have a RCA 74 that sat in the box for 20 years without a ribbon. I found a guy out in Washington who would re-ribbon it for me, so I sent it out to him and got it back, and well, it all sounds good. And I'm going to work on a interface for it so I can hopefully hook it up to Millie here and hopefully use it a little bit. I would make a report on Terry's son Will. Terry called me during the pre-net, and he said that last night they had to take Will back to the hospital again. He has a clot, I believe, in the lung and has developed some bit of pneumonia and some other kinds of problems. And he is still fighting the infection in the liver, and just really does need our prayers, and so be sure and remember Will. Terry and them are really doing a lot in that situation, and we certainly wish the very best for him in every way. That's for sure. Stan, appreciate you calling the net tonight, and good to hear everybody under pretty bad conditions tonight, but most signals are pretty good here at Concord, just really noisy. W4AMI from WB4GWA Concord.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Ron, thanks for the update on Perry and Will. Amen. We pray. Okay, thank you, Ron. Ron, sounds good tonight. Yeah, you've widened it out a little bit, and it sounds good. Tough to make a judgment on it tonight. Looking at the pattern, I was taking that my comments more from listening to it than watching it because of all the static on there. But we'll catch it again another day. Okay, next up on the list is our Vice President, Sam. KF4TXQ, your transmission. Sam, how you doing out there? This is W4AMI. Go ahead, Sam.
Okay, W4AMI. Wall this is KF4TXQ, Dadeville, Lake Martin. And thank you for picking me up. Doing fine job, Stan. I tell you what, Mother Nature's got a whole lot of stuff going on in there with us, but that's all right. We just have to go with the conditions as they are. We ain't in charge. We just have to endure it. But anyway, I hope everything's good in Walhalla. I hope Miss Jones doing all right. We're doing fine here. Miss Mary's doing fine. She went off and had fun with some of her buddies today, and she's been happy all afternoon. So that's good. And I'm feeling some better these days, but hey, I'm going to knock on wood. You never know. Because, you know, your health is like a yo-yo. Up one minute and down the next. And sometimes it'll just sort of hang there, you know. What they used to call that? I remember when I used to do yo-yos and you would hesitate. Sometimes your health will hesitate like a yo-yo. But anyway, thanks a lot for running the net, Stan. And hope everything's going well with you. So, everybody on the net, this is KF4TXQ, Dadeville, Alabama, on the usual rig here, on the pair of 813s and the 7300. So, back to W4AMI, everybody on the net. Over.
Yeah, okay, Sam, you're doing well tonight. Good signal. I'm surprised you've come up quite a bit over from pre-net time. Your signal's a lot better. I was just looking at the modulation monitor, and just for kicks, the negative side on this thing is about 96%, and just about 140 on the positive side, and I'm peaking hitting just about 1,500 watts peak envelope power. Just about where it's supposed to go. Thanks, Sam. Good signal. And regards to Miss Mary, Miss Jones doing fine. She's chugging along in pretty good shape. Next up is Alan, N4OZI, our pre-net guy, Supreme. And after Alan, we'll take another standby for late comers. N4OZI, W4AMI. Go ahead.
Okay, Stan, W4AMI on the net. N4OZI. Very good. And like I said, still staticky here. Let's see. I have an announcement. Attempted to try to get the AMers lunch for the Atlanta Hamfest coordinated last week. And I looked out at the restaurant, and they were all in favor of it. Had a lovely meal there, by the way. And on the way back, kind of got to thinking, I've not heard much from the Atlanta Radio Club about this Hamfest. So I checked their website, and it was still saying stay tuned and this kind of stuff. And I thought, well, 4 weeks out. So I sent an email to the Hamfest chairman, who's also the president of the club, asking about some detail. I said, your website really doesn't exclusively say Jim Miller Park, it just says Marietta. And you say you're going to have some updates or something. I didn't hear back, so I sent another email Saturday to his personal email based on what was in QRZ. And then Monday morning, I got up and checked the Atlanta Hamfest website. It said it's been canceled. So there you go. I just wanted to let everybody know that the friends of the Atlanta Radio Club, they will not have an Atlanta Hamfest this year. They don't have quite a very good explanation about it. A little bit vague, but that's fine. If you go to my QRZ page and scroll down to Hamfest, you'll see, you click on that link for Atlanta, you'll see the explanation. I don't know really what happened. I suspect that the upgrade to Jim Miller Park was quite significant, and the county probably raised the rate. And they may not have made even last year, and this year, based on maybe some input or tickets or something, it didn't look like it was going to do much, so maybe they just bailed out before they lose all their money. So anyway, no AMers lunch this year because there is no Atlanta Hamfest this year, so that's kind of the sad news that we had this week. And like I said, I've updated it on the QRZ page, and Ron is updated on the SAMRC page. Anyway, that's the only announcement we got. Appreciate you running the net. We'll turn it back to you, Stan, and hopefully Atlanta will come back maybe next year. They're saying they will, but that remains to be seen. We'll see what happens. W4AMI to take it. This is N4OZI.
Okay, Alan. Thank you. Wow, that's sad news. Thank you for bringing it to us, Alan. But that's sad news. It's been. Let's be honest about it. They've been struggling, and it's maybe its time has come to an end. We'll see as time goes by. I guess that leaves, and I'm just thinking out loud here for a second. I think that leaves the next general area swap will be up in the Asheville Club, but they hold it at. What's that town about 40 miles west of Asheville? Can't think of it right offhand. It's one of the villes, Swainsville. That's what it is, Swainsville. That'll be coming up in July. We'll see. Anyway, Alan, thank you, and thank you for your efforts earlier tonight and every other Tuesday. You do a great job, and we all appreciate it, sir. Okay, this is the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net for Tuesday evening, and we're going to take a standby right now to see if anybody else would care to join. November 4 Alpha Kilo N4 AK. Okay, Glenn, good evening. We've got you, N4AK. Anybody else? transmission, K3JWI, W4AMI. Go ahead.
Let me stand by. There was someone else, Stan.
November 4th, Quebec Hotel.
Did you pick those two up?
Yeah, just a minute, Ken. Yeah, N9AMI, good evening to you. And who's the other station, please? Alan, did you get it?
Negative. I didn't get it down here.
November 4, Quebec Hotel.
And for QH. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Lyle, good evening. I know what's wrong, Lyle. You're too close. Short. We need short skip because Lyle's only about 20 miles west of me here. Okay, we'll take one more standby for any other late arrivers. W4AMI. Come again with that call. WA4 what? Now, Alan, did you get that one? I couldn't get them out.
Nope, not picking them up here.
Anybody else find him? Yeah, we'll wait till the next go and see if we can pull him out. Just not quite enough signal compared to the static. Static crashes are running averaging about 15 over 9 here tonight. Anyway, go ahead, Ken.
Okay, W4AMI and the net K3JWI. Well, I heard those guys and I thought I'll just stand by here a minute and let magic do its thing. I could hear that other fellow, but I couldn't pull his call out either. I'm sorry, Stan. Anyway, Alan, sorry I didn't get back down here in time to jump in and say hello on the pre-net, but I'm sure you did a fine job without me. Hi, and Stan, thanks for picking me up. I just wanted to make sure I was on the list since I didn't get back into the shack in time. Good evening all the way around. I'm on the K3S, driving the Alpha 78 tonight. Same old antenna, but and I thought I'd better get in here tonight because after tonight we'll be absent again for 3 or 4 weeks, heading back to Pennsylvania next week, but plenty going on between now and then that's going to keep me away from Tuesday night next week. So I thought I'd better get in here and say hello and good evening to everybody so I'm not totally forgotten by the time I get back. So Stan, thank you for picking me up and making sure I was on the list. I just wanted to make sure. You have a great signal, and Alan, you got the top prize so far. You were just completely full bar graph on the S meter here on the K3. WA4AMI K3JWI.
Okay, Ken, boy, good signal here tonight. Like the way the audio looks on the Panadapter also, Ken. Be safe and Godspeed, and we'll see you when you get back. Next up is Dr. John, KN4ME. Go ahead.
Okay, I just hopped back in. I've been in the house, but came back out of the shack just in time to pick up. Nothing to add. A great net. I really enjoyed hearing all the good AM signals, and I'll leave it at that. Back to net control, KN4 Mike Echo.
Okay, Dr. John, thank you. Good to hear you tonight. You're coming through just fine. Next up is Charlie, K4FNY. Your transmission. Come on in here. It's good to hear you again. W4AMI.
Okay, Stan, W4AMI, K4FNY. Well, it's good news and bad news. The static is still here, but the band has changed, and everybody's signals come way, way up. So propagation is really, really good here now in the Hog Mountain. Good to hear everybody on. I'm going to make this a one and done, but I sure have enjoyed listening to this AM stations tonight. I'll try and check in here again next week. Thank you for calling the net, Stan. W4AMI, K4FNY.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Next week it looks like Sam KF4TXQ will be net control hereabouts. Thanks for coming in tonight. Appreciate good to hear you. Beautiful signal over here. Next up is Mac, W4AX. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks so much. I appreciate it, Stan. W4 AMI, W4AX, and I'll keep it brief. And copied everybody just fine. My 9-year-old dog who had cataract surgery 3 weeks ago has gotten a clean bill of health on her eyes. She's seeing perfectly. Absolutely a miracle. And we're just thrilled about it. She's a rescue mixed breed. And got out all the pressure washer equipment today. I moved all the furniture and everything to do my big pressure wash of the season. It's a commercial pressure washer, so it's big. And I pulled it, and first pull, the engine cranked, and no water came out of the pump. So new pump on order, and so it's put off for another day. Had to climb the tower last week. One of the towers, all the coax cables had come loose from one of the legs of the tower, and the zip ties had just rotted in the sun, even though they were supposed to be UV resistant. And so that LMR 600 cable is just flopping around, and I'm finding the older I get, the taller those towers seem to get also. Back over to you, Stan, and thanks for running the net. W4AMI, W4AX Ballground.
Same way here, Mac. Same way here. Fair amount of there's some work I got to do out on the tower this summer, and I look at it and I say, yeah, we'll think about it next week. Yeah, boy, I understand. Okay, we'll take one more standby, and that'll be Greg, WA4III, and then we'll take another standby for latecomers. Go ahead, Greg, W4AMI, go over.
W4AMI, this is WA4III. Well, good morning, buddy. Seems like the later we get in the afternoon, the better the signals will get. Glad for that. But I don't have anything to add to what I've already said. Just good to be here and hear everybody on. Bob, thank you for remembering my wife. She's recovering nicely. She's actually doing better than the physical therapist thought she would. So I guess that's the good thing I have to report. But thanks for picking me up, and that's all for me, I guess. W4AMI, this is WA4III. Back to Nick.
Okay, solid copy, Greg, and welcome tonight, and thank you for checking in. This is W4AMI. We'll take a brief standby for any latecomers. Go ahead.
Kilo 3, Foxtrot, Zulu Delta, K3FZD, over.
Okay, we got K3FZD. Anybody else? There's a carrier on there, but no audio attached to it. Ray, your transmission, W4OB, and the crisp audio, that Apache really sounds good tonight. Ray, go ahead.
W4AMI, this is W4OB. Well, a very good evening to you, Stan. Great signal out of Walhalla. And by the way, Eddie, you are absolutely the voice of Williamson tonight. Dr. Ron, you the same thing out of Ball Ground. All great signals. And Charlie, J4FNY, you are the great signal on Hog Mountain. So nice to hear you this evening, Charlie. And Mac, of course, you have a great signal, but I'm just delighted that your 9-year-old dog had that successful eye surgery. That is remarkable. So fantastic on that. And again, I will definitely keep Perry's son Will in my prayers. He's had a rough go of it. He certainly has. So we hope for the best for him. And Sam, you sound really great on beautiful Lake Martin this evening, and I always enjoy the Sunday morning coffee club, Sam, so it was great to hear you early Sunday morning as well. So again, thanks to you, Stan, thanks to you, Alan, on the pre-net, and let me send it back to you. All good signals right now. W4AMI, this is W4OB. Good evening.
Okay, Ray, thank you. Good signal over here across the state line tonight. Good to hear you. Next up is Bill, W4MA. Go ahead.
W4AMI, this is W4MA. Good evening, Stan. Good evening to the SAMRC group. I want to thank you, Stan, for being air controller tonight. Conditions not that great, but signals have come up quite a bit. Thank you, Alan, for being net pre-net controller. Great job as always. Anyway, the name here is Bill. I'm near Ellijay, Georgia. Won't get into what we're running, but this is old tube gear, about well over 200 watts of carrier. No solid state here. To me, that's what AM is about, just the old tubes. But enjoy it. A lot of snap, crackle, and pop due to the QRN. We're going due to just conditions changing. Eddie, if you're still there, KA4AMI enjoyed the QSO the other evening. The Gates was sounding very nice, very good. I want to thank you again, Alan and Stan, on what you do, and thanks for the officers at SAMRC to make it happen. God bless those that are ill and under the weather. My prayers, 7-3 to all. Thank you again. This is W4MA.
Okay, thank you for coming aboard tonight, Bill. Good to hear you again. Next station up is going to be Brennan, W4GUZ. Go ahead.
Okay, Stan.
You dropped it, Brandon. Try again.
Let's try this again. I've got a wireless mouse that's acting up. Hello, Stan. W4GUZ here in Bakersville. It's good to be on the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Net tonight. I thank you for what you do. Alan, thank you for the pre-net. Got in here just a little late, but enjoying the good signals through all the static. It's a love-hate relationship, I guess, with the static on the band, but that means it's getting warmer outside, so I'll take it. Bob BKC, Virgil, Mac, Ray, everybody's coming in here on top of all the noise, so it has been an absolutely gorgeous day here in Bakersville, and looking for I think a well-deserved day off tomorrow. And I plan on spending it outside, hopefully with the wife on top of Rome Mountain, doing a little bit of hiking. So back to you, Stan, and we'll try to be back in here next week. Thank you again for what you do. W4AMI, W4GUZ.
Okay, Brandon. Well, Sam will be awaiting for you next week. Next station up is Virgil, W4OLJ. How are you tonight, sir? Go ahead.
W4AMI in the net. This is W4OLJ. Okay, Stan. Thanks for picking me up there. Well, everything's rocking along pretty good over here in the valley. Beautiful day today. I don't know, it got up into the low 80s, I think. Just a real nice day. Most everybody's sounding good. I'm getting about everybody. You're sounding real good, and Bob and Brandon coming in real well. It's good to hear Charlie, FNY. I hadn't heard him on a long time. I kind of miss hearing that big rally click when you come on there, Charlie. I could always tell that was you. Sounds good. And the next Hamfest around here will be Knoxville. I think it is June the 19th. It's not a huge Hamfest, but pretty good little Hamfest up at the oh golly bum, up at the lodge building on top of the hill there, right there in downtown Knoxville. So everybody come on up. That's about all I got here, Stan. You're doing a great job as usual, and we always enjoy the nets. So back to you there, and 73s, everybody. W4AMI. This is W4OLJ in Sweetwater.
Okay, thank you, Virgil. Thank you. June 19 in Knoxville. We'll keep that one on the calendar. Good signal tonight. You're 40 over as usual. Same old boring signal every week, Virgil. Great signal. Good to hear you. Next up is maneuver to the east here, N4AK over in Pickens County, South Carolina, W4AMI. Go ahead, Glenn. How are you tonight?
Stan, W4KR in the group. I was a little late checking in. Can I list a few items for sale?
Have at it, man. Go do it.
All right, that's great. I got a few items here. I need to a little more room here in the shack. I have a very, very nice Johnson Valiant. Asking price $400. It has push-to-talk, 3B28s, and the manual. This version goes 160 through 10 meters. Also have a NC300. Will be with the national speaker. It has a crystal calibrator and manual. Asking $325. I have a R390A, and I have it in a Hammond cabinet. You know, the Hammond cabinets are worth probably now $175, couple of $100. But anyway, $675, and that's for pickup in Sunset, South Carolina. I'm good on QRZ. Thanks very much. Good signals tonight. A little bit of QRN. Stan, thanks for calling the net for us. Back to net control, November 4 Alpha Kilo.
Okay, thank you, Glenn. This is W4AMI. Glenn has a Valiant, an NC300, a 390A. I think that was it. Good stuff, Glenn. And good luck finding a home for that gear. Next up is N9AMI. How are you tonight? W4AMI. Go ahead.
Okay, W4AMI, N9AMI, Remote 4. Station's in Kennesaw, Georgia, and I am sitting in Silver Springs, Nevada, my west location here. So just 25 watts and an ICOM 7610. What else? Everybody's coming in pretty good. Lots of static crashes. I guess thunderstorms are coming through the area there, but they seem to have subsided a little bit. And you guys are talking about ham swaps over there. I'm planning to come to the Huntsville. I'm going to go to the Huntsville one in August, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And that'll be a good time. That's it. I'll keep it short because we're only kind of running peanut power here, 25 watts. W4AMI, glad to be in here. N9AMI.
All right, thank you. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate hearing from you from out Nevada way, via Georgia. Gotcha. Okay, next up is Lyle, N9QH, over in Toccoa, Georgia, W4AMI.
Yes, W4AMI, and the gang N4QH, Lyle, in Toccoa. Everyone does real good here tonight. Well, good, everybody's excellent tonight. Dan. Appreciate the call, Dan. Just wanted to say, hey, let you all know I'm from Bowland.
Okay, Lyle, good. Glad to hear you. Okay, next up and the last station on the list, then we'll take another standby. K3FZD. Larry, how are you tonight? W4AMI, over.
W4AMI, K3FZD. I got in late. I'm on my DX60 again. This is break 2B. I got in late as you were just talking about a dog having eye surgery, and I just thought, well, we have a dog too who has 2 cataracts. He's really blind. He can't see at all, and he doesn't hear well. He smells everything, and he can go all around the yard and come back to the door just by smell. But he's 15, and he's a 5-pound Yorkie poodle, so I don't think we'll be going for him to have surgery. He might not even survive the disease. So anyway, that's what I have to say. What's the nature of his illness? Just think about him himself.
Yeah, okay, Larry, K3FZD, W4AMI. Boy, with the high static level, high static crashes tonight, it'd be difficult to give a qualitative report. Because you're right, you're just a little bit above the noise level. Okay, I've come to the end of the list, and we'll take a standby, see if we have anybody else that would like to join us tonight before we shut down the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. Anybody else, come on in.
The station just there. Come again, please. We'll try and copy. Are you on? You must be on lower sideband. Is that right? Yeah, I'm sorry.
We're not able to copy you. With that, we're going to bring the net to a close tonight. And we shall see everybody next week. Sam will be here. Sam and Kevin. Kevin will be doing the pre-net beginning at 6:30 Eastern Time, and Sam will take over the net at 7 o'clock. And Lord willing, we'll see everybody then. Also Thursday night, the Mullets will be here. I hope the static level is a little better. And we'll see what Thursday brings, and then of course the Eagle Net is here next Monday night. Guys, thanks so much for coming, for joining us tonight, coming aboard, and for those who were listening around the country, God bless, and come on back again next week. This is W4AMI. Good night.
Thank you.